Well, we're looking ahead to returning to the Vaal, this time on the classic track for racing on Thursday. I say returning, we should have been there Tuesday, which was yesterday, because we are recording tomorrow's show for on a Wednesday. But due to the incessant rain, I think they'd had about 150 millimeters of rain when they did declare the meeting abandoned, and expected more because we have had a deluge of rain. But hopefully things have quietened down a bit and we should be racing, although I think this thing will still be out of the ground. But a man who's got his ear to the ground, so to speak, is Mr. Marie. Mr. Marie, good to see you. And perhaps you can give us the latest from your friends, Lani friends, chilling it out at the Vaal River there.
Yeah, I don't know. I know as much as you do, Sis.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
Yeah.
I'm about 40 k's away from there, and we've had a lot of rain in the south of Joburg.
Plenty of rain. Plenty.
But yesterday was a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Yesterday being Tuesday, and today the sun's out.
Let's hope it remains that way, yeah?
Just having a look at the first race, immediately you take note that Craig Zackey's not riding for Lucky Locus, and Craig Zackey's going for the championship. So does that mean that number 6, Sheriff Bill Brown... Oh no, it's actually owned by Lawrence Werners, so that's the reason. Okay, so that's why Keegan DeMello's on it. I only noticed that now. He's my first choice. Now I watched his replay. He was drawn worst of all around the bend, and he was pushed out even wider. And that day the track was very heavy, and he moved up to them, and about from the 200 he got tired, and he just came up for air. Now he's up the straight for the first time. He's going to show a lot of improvements. Just take note, we only need the first race runner home. So I've included number 3 as well, Midnight Show. He was well beaten on debut. But just having a look at the other two or the other 3 that have raced, numbers 7, 8 and 9, surely either the 3 or the 6 will finish first out of the race runners. So I'm confident we're going to get through the opening leg. I have got a preference for number 6, Sheriff Bill Brown. I think he's way better than that debut effort, and I'm going to say he's my number 1 choice of the race runners.
Okay, and already has experienced the Vaal Classic track. 3 and 6 are the numbers for that first race of the afternoon, which sees the start of the bipod. The outlay quite an economic one, 96 rand. 3 and 6 are the numbers. We've got a banker coming up in leg number 2. We now get into a maiden juvenile plate, and that'll be over the 1,000 meters race number 2. Due off at 10 past 1, that'll be the start of the PA, the second of 8, on the classic track at the Vaal. And we have a very short price favorite, and if you look at the form line, you'll understand why. In a recent feature that was on Classic Day, the Ruffian Stakes, our favorite Lanzarote did not disgrace itself, finishing third at 2 3/4 lengths, and was said to be staying on. Mr. Keegan DeMello retains a rider for the Yuan Yansi van Vuren stable in the colours of Mr. Rakesh Sugulam and the Vernus family. Lanzarote is at very, very cramped odds indeed. The last I saw was 7 to 20. What we can do is a look back on that commendable performance in the feature that is in those orange and blue silks, and Darryl will tell us exactly what he liked about this run.
I like the fact that she showed improvement, because next to her is Griselda, and the winner's just switched towards the inside. That's Secretary Bird. So towards the outside in the orange, staying on very nicely against winners, and got within half a length of Griselda. Now, in her penultimate start, she was beaten a length and a quarter by Griselda, and in the Ruffian, she was actually worse off at the weight. So she showed a lot of improvements in that start. I mean, there has to be a superstar first time a year to get the better of her. So banker number 4, Lanzarote in the PA, and certainly the start of all your total to come. You can see on paper it looks like number 1's her biggest danger, and she holds her convincingly on that run or the replay that we just watched. So yeah, be shocked if she doesn't win. A steering job for Keegan.
Yes, indeed, and he's certainly found his feet. It is banker the 4, and we'll bookend it with a banker at the back end. That is the number 3 in a race, and number 8, and that 3 being a special star. Outlay 288 rand. Certainly Mr. Marie is looking to save us money, or at least to see us go through to the Champions Day with a lot of money in our pockets, so winning and also very cost-efficient perms. All right, so we get into race number 3. This is an SA Derby 4 April maiden plate. It's a fillies and mares event over the 1450. Unfortunately, no Triple Crown potentials or contenders. There is, of course, a Triple Tiara contender in the form of Hazy Daisy on the 4th of April. So we're looking forward to Hazy Daisy, and I think it'll be a very, very popular winner indeed if seeing out the third leg of that very testing Triple Tiara. Right, we've got a scratching. The 8 Trip of Faith is a scratching, and then we've got a weight change. Please note that Mr. Blaine Mark Jacobson has now got 20 winners, and so he only claims his 2.5 kg of the 4 that he originally started off with. The favorite is the one, the reason that is short at 11 to 10. Sean Terry teams up with Craig Zaki in the colors of Mr. Lance Michael and Sean Terry himself. Once in a Blue Moon is your second favorite at 24 to 10. And then it is number 3, Lanterry, was also in the betting there. That is 25 to 10. Right, let's get to our rerun, and it is the reason whom we are looking at. And again, it is a skid sizzle. We'll be talking of skid sizzle quite a lot, but let's hand over to Daryl, and it's Craig Zaki aboard.
Yes, she's in the yellow towards the outside, and take note who's right down the inside. That's number 2, Once in a Blue Moon. Yeah, not much separating them. You can see the reasons probably gain away from Once in a Blue Moon in the latter stages. But on paper, I mean, there's only a length separating the two of them. Once in a Blue Moon's got a counter draw this time around. It's 1450 around the bend. But the reason has tried the bend and 1400 before. And on that occasion, she didn't get cover with Muzi, and she was probably doing a bit too much. So I think Craig's instructions will be to get us on cover and first and foremost get her to settle so that she can run to the line as what she did in that replay we just watched. But strictly on paper, says Manu, like I said in last week's Weighted to Win previews, I think he's a stable that you can follow. The horses are coming to form. And have a look at her penultimate start. I know that the reason on that occasion was doing a bit too much, but she beat her, and she's slightly better off at the weight. So it wouldn't be a shock to see Lanterry confirm that form. It's a small field. Probably the reason's going to prove the one to beat, but I'm not ignoring numbers 2 and 3's chances over here. So all of them in the opening leg of the pick 6.
Yeah, I thought Lanterry, I thought maybe you were going to say mad. So Lanterry is definitely a live wire.
Yeah.
Indeed. And of course, the CV looks good. Hazy Daisy, 3.5 lengths to Hazy Daisy.
Sure.
That one was against, behind Split the 8s. But there was an excuse, and so decent form. So
warm
1, 2, 3.
reception and warm reception in her form line. Yeah.
Indeed. That was a Guineas and Classic contender, wasn't it?
And if she was drawn kinder, I'd say maybe we can have a little bit of a nibble, because it's just an apprentice drawn out a little bit wide, but you need luck in running even if you draw neatly. So yeah, let's play the safe route.
Of course, the mother, she won the Classic, didn't she? Bambina Stripes?
Dennis Dreyer.
Dennis Dreyer, and the Norwegian flag, was it?
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Right, just a quick reminder of the betting. 11 to 10, the one, the reason. Number 2, that is at 24 to 10. That's 5 to 2 about the 3, Lanterry. Half time to that first leg of the pick 6, 13:45. It would really be outlandish if one of those 3 didn't see us through that first leg of the pick 6. We now get into our first jackpot, which starts in race number 4, play soccer 6, 10, and 13. A maiden plate. It's over the 1450, and races 3 and 4 could be a great advert for the sire Skizzle, rather, and that is number 10, who is the latest of Progeny, and that is your favorite, and that is very short indeed. And last time I looked was in the red at around 3 to 4 last night. The second favorite, that would be number 2, and that is the Shory Bomber at 4 to 1. 8 to 1 is the 6, and that is Arizona Magic. And then it's 9 to 1 about the one Beach Walker. It's double figures about the rest. Right, we are going to once again look at the debut performance of 10. Nice Skizzle, look out for the Vernus Family Silks, and Darryl's going to take us through this particular run.
Yes, now very important to take note that right down the inside in the blue with the cheek pieces is Shory Bomber.
Yes.
His main rival. And you can see that he's finishing better over here. He's just got the better of Shory Bomber, and a length separated the two of them at the line. Now, Night Skizzle was making his debut, and Shory Bomber was having his, fifth start?
Fifth start, yeah.
So one expects that Night Skizzle confirms that form. But races aren't cut and dry, so they still have to produce it on the track. And this time round, what's in Shory Bomber's favour is that he's kind of drawn.
Yeah.
He comes into Stallgate number 3. Let me just check it. No, there's no scratching here. Yeah, Stallgate number 3, whereas Night Skizzle's drawn out 8, and probably Night Skizzle's going to be given a chance, like he was on debut. And he may just find himself behind one or two of horses he doesn't really want to follow through. So I've just played the safe routes. I do expect them to fight it out once again. I don't know if you touched on the equipment change with Shory Bomber.
Shory Bomber, I did not touch on Shory Bomber's equipment change.
The cheek pieces come off, and the blinkers go on.
Okay, my apologies.
I don't know what type of difference that's going to make, but yes, once again, the safe route. I wouldn't be shocked to see Shory Bomber reverse that form, but strictly on the amount of improvement Night Skizzle should have made from that run under his belt, we expect him to confirm the form. So yes, we do have to go 10 from 2 here.
10 from 2, that is Shory Bomber and the short price favourite number 10. Night Skizzle, who started its career over the 1450 and now does go over the 1450 once again.
Yeah, so I did have a look at his siblings. He's a half brother to, or is he a full brother? Tierra del Fuego. Do you remember him?
Tierra del Fuego, I do remember that horse. That was Dean Canamere?
No, Sean Terry and Mr. Fanikak.
Oh, yes, okay.
He actually ran a place in the Grade 1 Premier Champions Challenge. He won most of his races between 1400 and a mile. So he's his brother, and is actually his full brother. He was also by Skizzle.
So basically, they started off on the ideal sort of trip, over the right sort of trip, middle distance type of 1450. That is Night Skizzle, and Shory Bomber set to fight it out in race number 4, 2 and 10 in leg 1 of the first jackpot. Halfway stage, and it is the race number 5 that also sees the start of Jackpot 2, Ameritrated 72 handicaps. So we're now into our raced horses and winners, should I say. And here the favorite is number 4, Euphrates, at 5 to 1. Co-favorite of the 10, Full Go, who's also at 5 to 1. First time over this sort of a trip, has been doing best work late over the 18 and the 2000. Let's see if the 2400 will be the actual catalyst to that next win. And then Pomazelis, who is certainly in a very consistent form, 6 to 1. It's 13 to 2 and better bar those. Before we go any further, as per ever, we are going to turn it to our rerun, and Mr. Marie is going to give us his thoughts on Jesus Belli, as it would be pronounced, or Jesus Belai.
Yeah, on this occasion, Rachel gave him a peach of a ride. She placed him towards the back of the field, and he just quickened up best of all. You can see back in third over there is a horse called Full Go. He's lining up too. And also in that race was Gift of Roll and Gold de Grace, Future Wolf, and Cornello finished second. And Cornello came out and ran second and then won.
And unfortunately scratched today.
Yes. Now, I don't think he's really one that you want to rely on, but it was lovely to see him win again, Casus Bella, last time out. So maybe he's excuse me, says maybe his confidence is up. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I bumped into the owner, the advocate, and he thought there's still a lot more to come through. He was really over the moon. One of the best interviews I've done on course, and a long one, but a very nice interview with the advocate. And good to see these legal eagles still involved in racing. But does the race stop there, though?
No, I went the entire field. Now, you need to open up the book and look at this horse's form when Ryan Munger gets aboard Future Wolf. 5 rides for a win in 3 seconds and a third. He's never missed the money. And you know, last year this time Ryan was shooting the lights out.
Yeah.
I mean, he was riding 3-4 winners a meeting. He can't even get a rider meeting now. He's got 2 rides. One of them is for his father-in-law. The other one is Future Wolf. On Saturday, he's got one ride. Last week, Saturday, he had one ride. I don't know
It's
what's
actually,
happening.
no. I think, let us just be careful there. There may be a slight medical reason, maybe, that he's not
Perhaps.
overdoing it. But he's got a third ride, by the way. He's picked up the chance ride on Storm Ahead.
Okay, and I
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yeah. So, right.
Um,
So, Future Wolf, we can't exclude
yeah.
Cassius Belli or Cassius Belai, you've highlighted. Euphrates is your favorite, Tony Peter and Carl Stratham. Good to see Carl back in town after a successful stint overseas. Where would you put that?
Yeah.
And one more question. So, two questions for you. Gavin is back on Nuclear Force.
Yes, so Euphrates, I think this is a much more suitable race for him. Last time out, he was just outclassed. Go back a few runs, not much separating himself in Pomazelis. So I put them both in. Nuclear Force, Gavin's gone into my pick six because I put the entire field.
Yes.
But yeah, he is aging, but Gavin gets a good tune. I mean, he's won 2 out of his 4, so he should come with a late rattle. I'm looking for a spook. You can see the entire field in my jackpot says.
All right, 1 to 12, that is your field. By 8 and 9, and then it is a bit wide in that leg 3 race number 7. Right, we have a last chance to get involved in a pick 3, and it starts with race number 6 and a very nice competitive race number 6. This is a Phyllis Mares 98 handicap, 1800 meters is a trip. Number 1, Scarlet Heart, who looked to be the one to be on after that very good run in the Classic, is a scratching, and that is about it. Now let's have a look at the betting, and we've got the 5. That is your favorite, and that is interesting. That is, no, beg your pardon, the 8 is your favorite, Warning Sound at 33 to 10. 4 to 1 about the 5, A Woman's World. Kissing Machine is at 4 to 1, it's 5 to 1, and Better Bar those. All right, let's get back to the top of the boards, and let's look at that recent performance in the Acacia. That is number 8, A Warning Sound. And Mr. Marie, very good run indeed, a very good second, and a horse under the radar, Careful Got, in the colours of Lance Michael, came through.
Correct. He's with the light blue silks towards the outside. Behind him in the darker blue with the yellow cap is Woman's World, and in between them is Bequena in the Verner's family silks. And you can see that Warning Sound, not only did she beat the two of them on that occasion, she finds herself better off because Mikhail couldn't claim in that race. So on paper, it's going to be very difficult for them to reverse the form. So she's my number 1 choice. Penultimate start beating Streisand.
Came out of 1.
That came out and won again. But just have a look at the record. Calvin, who's getting down to 54, has got with Kissing Machine. I mean, 6 rides for 3 wins in 2 seconds. He's got her from Storgate number 1. She's honest, she's consistent, she's a trier. Calvin's going to bounce her out and keep his cards open because if they're going a little bit too quick, he'll just slot her in beyond the pace, and if there's no pace, he'll take it up because she's that type of a filly. So she's my ready-made danger to Warning Sound. But Mikhail's got a great relationship with Warning Sound. She's a 4-year-old. She's improving, extremely well related. You can certainly see that the pennies dropped for her. So 8 from 9. If you want to go wider, I will include the 2 that we mentioned in that replay. Numbers 2, Bequena, and number 5, Woman's World.
So you reckon that form line will hold up well, barring Kissing Machine, who wasn't in the Acacia, but the other 3 will certainly perform to a similar level.
Hopefully.
Okay, thank you so much, Daryl. That is the first leg of the last pick 3, but we've got a double here, races 6 and 7, 8 and 9 in that first leg, and then we go wide in race number 7. We now move on to our penultimate and the last chance to get involved in a double jockey change. Number 5, Storm Ahead. Deputizing for the indisposed Manga Kumalo will be Ryan Manga. And we are left with 13 runners after the scratching of the 14 Carnello. That is a scratching. Now, as far as the betting goes, It is the 12 Royal Engagement, the 0-year-old from the stable of St. John Grey in his colours, bred by him as well. And with championship aspirant Craig Zaki aboard, who comes in plus a half a kg, that is at 7-2. It is 15-4 about the 13 World of Royalty in Royal Silks. So that is, of course, a former Summer Cup winner. Adorned those colours, or at least adorned those colours. World of Royalty is the horse that we're going to look at. It has had the 1-1 on the Highveld. It was on the inside track of Turpentine over the 1600 meters. Seen her doing best work late. Muzi Yeni aboard, and Mr. Marie, he can tell us exactly what he expects, although the draw is a bit of a problem.
It is a huge worry. On this occasion, the horse in second, Wayne, controlled the pace up front. Obviously, Firestorm got the better of him in the latter stages, but the best finisher and the eye-catcher in the race was World of Royalty back in third. He was backed as if the result was known on that occasion. I mean, a lot of support. Just unfortunate for the connections that he's got a tricky draw to contend with. I certainly wouldn't be shocked if he wins a good few on the Highveld, because I was impressed with that effort. Now, Royal Engagement comes out of the World Sports Betting Awam Stakes form line. And
you reckon Waishong will have a line through that form line?
Yeah, he will certainly. And there's a few that finish just ahead of him with high hopes to going forward into the Derby. He's back at the Vaal on the classic track. He's well drawn. He runs great, or his best races of the year. So he must certainly pose a threat and probably get a counter passage in running compared to what number 13 will get. Number 11 is my improve over here, and he's blowing hot and cold up here on the Highveld. But I really think of his rating of 74. He must be competitive. But he is a bit of a tricky sort in that he tends to over-race. But I like the fact that he's drawn in Soulgate number 1, because Serena will he won't try place him. We'll just let him come out and make sure that he relaxes. And if that's the case, I think he can pose a bit of a threat of and spring a surprise. The race certainly doesn't stop there. You've got Dark Silver, the top weight. You've got Prince of Kildare. You've got Storm ahead now with Ryan, who's going to suit him. Got Area Vistas making his debut for his new yard. We Are the Logans in good form. I mean, the race, you'd really want to have as many as possible, don't you, Sess?
Yeah, so a very tricky opening leg to that last double. 1, 4, 5, 11, 12, and 13 would, one dare say, the minimum you need in that first leg of that last double. It is off at 4:05, and that'll be our penultimate event over the 1800 meters, a merit rated 84. Okay, so we have race number 8. This is our curtain closer on the afternoon at the Vaal on the classic track, and this is a next Vaal race meeting, Tuesday the 31st of March. The fillies and mares are 79, and again over the 1800 meters. Now, basically, the betting has been closed for this race for some time. It has been suspended, so we'll await it to be updated. But we're going to look at a certain horse here, and that is coming out of the Ormond Ferraris Oaks trial over the 2,000 meters recently at Turpentine in the colours of the Wilkebos Drift, and that is number 3, Special Star. Wasn't the best of runs then, and that is due to being drawn 12 out of 14. But I'm sure Darryl will highlight that Callum Murray does retain the ride. So that is the 3. Special Star going back to the 14th of March. And that was over a distance of 2,000, drops back to 1,800 on Thursday afternoon. Yes. Darryl, there we are, near the end, tail end of the field.
Yeah, obviously the grey filly, and we know how well bred she is, so she hasn't really quite lived up to expectations. But yeah, in the Oaks trial, she had an awful draw to contend with, and she was just given a chance and dropped out to the back of the field. And I was very pleased with what she did in the straight. She never gave up. She always was staying on, and she ran all the way to the line. This filly, Sess, is now super fit. They gave her some time off after maiden win, and she was in need of her 2 comeback efforts. And then last time out, obviously the draw played part into below par run. I was tipping this filly as the likely winner before Falcon Fly came out. You can see in my perms, I actually had Falcon Fly in my pick 6 and my jackpot 2. But I'm hoping she starts toe favourite so that I can double up. I just think Callan now, drawn 2 on a filly that he knows he's very fit and no excuses now, needs to be up on the pace. And look who's drawn 1. A filly called Northern Kitten with Jason. And Jason's won start to finish on her before. And I'm hoping Jason makes use of her and that she pings the gates and gives Special Star a lovely pull through. Running transit, as they like to say. So she's my number 1 choice. I do have a little bit of a sneaky feeling in that Sikaloy is better than her last run, her post-maiden run. You know, when she won a maiden, indirectly from that form line, Utsa won. And also was called Kort van Draat, who won and then ran a place in her handicap. Yes, in her handicap debut, she ran a lovely 3rd. So I'm going to say she's my danger. I'm going a 1 bet on Special Star, and I'm actually going to cover my stake with a 1 bet on Sikaloy. So 3 from 7 for me.
Thank you so much. Please be reminded, as Daryl has just pointed out, I did mention the fact that the betting for race number 8 is suspended. That is due to what was your second favorite at one stage, in fact, was your favorite being scratched, and that is the 4 Falcon Fly. So look out for the updated betting. But for now, it is thank you so much to Daryl, and we look forward to racing on Wednesday and Thursday.